the Auburn Blitz Podcast, your direct source for all Auburn all the time with Brett Pritchard, Faith Richardson, and Randy Lee.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Blitz Podcast here on this Thursday morning. We're glad that you joined us wherever and whenever it is that you're joining us each and every day and making Auburn Blitz part of your daily Auburn athletic intake. Brett and Randy here with you. Just a little word of disclaimer. We are not live this morning, although you're watching us, and it says live. We're not live. We recorded it last night, and we're glad we were able to do it. I'm out of town, and we got people everywhere, so went ahead and shot this last night, and a lot going on. We were on location yesterday for our noon show, so that was really good, man. Prime Steakhouse, Stillwater's Golf Course. Randy, Eric McKinley doing a great job down there. That place is just unbelievable. The food was awesome, and a lot of people down there playing golf, and it looks really, really good.
Well, it needed it, and I can remember back when his original idea of taking that over and you and I meeting with him, and what he does, he just never B-teams anything. And so it'll just keep getting better and better. And it's always been on that side of the lake. Even when I was young, you always wondered, why in the world can this not make a run at it? Because golf around our area has always been really, really popular. And so proud for him, proud for that area, and proud for all of us that live and work in the Lake Martin region to have another golf course that you can really point to and say that it's kept up to the standard that it should.
Absolutely. Just a great thing he's doing down there. A lot of things that he is kind of sticking his neck out for that community and doing great. We're glad to be associated with them. Talking about people we are glad to be associated with, we always start our program with some of our partners. Sense of Green, for air that's cool and clean. Call on Sense of Green. They are the carrier experts here in the state of Alabama. Proud supporters of Auburn Athletics and the Auburn Blitz Podcast, saving people thousands of dollars on new installs. Check out Sense of Green right now. They'll save you money on your power bill with a brand new carrier unit, new and efficient. Scout Program Management, a full-service construction management firm located in Birmingham, Alabama, but serving the Southeast, man. They have multi-million-dollar projects that they're in charge of all over the place, several here in the state of Alabama. New school builds, renovations. If you're having a big project or about to prepare for a big project, you need to call on Scout Program Management. They are one of the best consulting firms, if not the best, here in the state of Alabama at handling those accounts, and they'll make sure your project is done correctly all the way from start in the planning phases all the way to the finished product. Call on Scout Program Management. And Bunkers in downtown Auburn on West Glen, 50 parking spaces. You don't have to worry about finding a parking space. Great lunch, great dinner. Rent a virtual booth, 27 games you can play, golf, whatever it is that you want to do, 2 bars. Can't beat the atmosphere. Love all those guys over there, man. They do such a great job. And we're so glad that we are partnered with them. So go check out Bunkers in downtown Auburn on West Glen if you have not done so already. Okay, basketball odds, some things coming out. Auburn has its opponents now, conference opponents. We don't know the dates on those, but that came out yesterday. We'll talk about that and maybe a tad bit of recruiting, namely one guy out in California that Faith and I are going to see next week. We're supposed to see him this week. But the reason we didn't see him this week is because he's in California. He's out at the Elite 11, and he's doing really well. So we'll talk about that here in just a second. But, hey, look, when you got a basketball team like Auburn, it's never too early or too late to talk about basketball. We used to never talk about it, but now we talk about it year-round. So just kind of go through this, Randy. Our home and away opponents this coming up year are Alabama, Ole Miss, and Arkansas. Those 3 teams, we will go there and they will come here. The home games, home only, will be Kentucky, LSU, South Carolina, Texas, Texas A&M, and Vanderbilt. And the away only games are Florida, Georgia, Mississippi State, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. Just your reaction on that schedule.
Well, I think the home and away matchups are 3 of the best coaches in the league. I don't know how far you take that, but when you talk about Alabama, Ole Miss, and Arkansas, there's not 3 better coaches in the country than those 3 are going to throw out there at you. So be very, very difficult to go on the road to win any of those games. We have. I mean, we've had success at all of those places, but I do think the standard that they're setting maybe at Ole Miss and Arkansas is getting to a little bit better level than we've seen over the past maybe 6 to 8 years. I know Arkansas has had some great runs in the tournament, but they've been below us in the regular season, and outside of those runs, once they get into the tournament, they haven't been up to the level that us and Alabama have. And we already know what the deal is with Alabama. I mean, if they come to our place and win, it'll be a shock. And if we go to their place and win, as good as those two programs are right now. So that's my first takeaway when I hear the schedule is, whew, first off, the coaching in this league is exceptionally good anyway. But those four coaches, counting ours, can you name better coaches in the country than those four?
No. I mean, Auburn went 15-3 in league play last year, which is still, when I read that's unbelievable with the league that we were in. The national champion came from this league. Of course, we lost to them at home, but again, went 15-3, won it outright, and made a run to the Final Four again. And now you got a completely different team, but it's the same grueling league. But everybody's having to do this. I mean, additions of, just kind of go through a few of these guys: Keyshawn Hall, Kevin Overton, Keyshawn Murphy, the guy from overseas, Philippe Jovic, going out and getting some of those guys, Emeka Oporum, who I think's raw, but got a lot of potential, Abdul Bashir. Then you got your freshmen coming in, and Caden Magwood, and some of those guys that Auburn returns one guy. But if you wanted to return one guy, it's the right one, Todd Pettiford. He's going to be one of the best players in the country at any position this coming up year.
Well, he'll be the spotlight player for Auburn. You already see schedules coming out, see social media posts, and you've got that spotlight player that you can put out there, and that's great for him because this past year, he was probably a top 5 freshman in the country this past year, but you wouldn't necessarily know it unless you're cheering for Auburn or seeing some of those big games where he had big moments because he didn't get starts. You look down at his stat line, and it's impressive, but it's not eye-popping. But you've got to understand the limited minutes and the limited amount of time that he got in mop-up duty to really extend some of those statistical totals out, Brett. What did he end up? Did he average 11 points a game last year?
Right, a little above double digits, Joe.
You know, so, I mean, which is great as a true freshman, but I expect those numbers to really jump up. And, you know, my son and my nephew went to the Auburn camp this past week. It was the first week of the Bruce Pearl camp of many that they'll have this summer. A massive, massive turnout, and I'm going somewhere with this. Keyshawn Hall was there, and as friendly and just as nice as he possibly could be. I mean, that's coming from my son and my nephew, you know, in there taking photos. And it's not that you probably do need to do those kind of things, but some players just seem to do it better than others. Some players seem to appreciate the attention and know that it's going to build. And when you're a new guy, you really do need to get in there and get acquainted with not only the coaching staff, but the people that are going to support you. And it goes a long way. So, you know, I'll say there were several players in there that were really making their presence known. And when you've got, I don't know what the number is, a few hundred players, kids in there, that, you know, your kids get a little bit of attention from some players they're going to look up to in the years to come, then that's a big thing. So a great camp. They couldn't say enough good things about it.
You know, every basketball program, especially when you talk about sports, college athletics, on the basketball side, you got to be prepared to just have a brand new team every year. If you're competitive and you're really good, this is just the life you live. And this is a brand new basketball team. And when you look at some of the guys that you just named off, and then, like I said, let's not undersell Auburn's recruiting class. The guys that they got, it was good enough for number 14 in the country, according to 24/7. Sebastian Williams-Adams. A lot of people are really high on him at the forward position. The best player in this class probably is Caden Magwood, who's going to get he's going to get a lot of minutes, I think. behind Todd Pettiford because he's going to have to learn, just kind of like how Todd was having to learn this year. I mean, you're just going to have to get in there and you're going to grow this kid, and he's very, very talented, very quick. And then you and I've seen Simon Walker from up in North Alabama, a shooting guard, really, really talented guy. Those are the three guys that Auburn brought in as freshmen. And then you add, like we said, some really key JUCO guys and guys from all over. I mean, Central Florida, Texas Tech, Mississippi State. I just keep going down the list. But you've compiled a really talented team. Now they've got to get out there and build the chemistry and do what it takes to win basketball games, because we all know it's not just talent. There's going to be a lot of teams, especially in this league, with very talented teams, but they got to learn each other and they got to learn their role, and it's all about building that chemistry.
It's also about development. And the beauty of Auburn basketball in comparison to what we've gotten over the last decade in football is development. And I think our assistant coaches deserve much of the credit for the way that we've developed players. And Brett, I can go down the list. I mean, it doesn't take, if you're an Auburn basketball fan, Chaney Johnson's not a one-off. I mean,
No.
Auburn's Denver Jones is not a one-off. I mean, we have developed guys that were good players. But the beauty of having Bruce Pearl, I don't think is, do you trust him to go out there and put a good squad together that will play well together? My answer is yes. But once you get them there, can they get better? Can they go from averaging 4 points, 3 rebounds a game? And I don't know what Chaney did his junior year, but that's about what I remember. May have been
Right.
5 and 4, all the way up to 11.5 and 7. And if you get that consistently, if you get that kind of upgrade and play from one year to the next, then you've got something you can build on. So Ira Bowman gets a lot of the credit. Virgo gets a lot of the credit, and they all deserve it, Brett, because these guys have been around Bruce Pearl for a very long time. And when you've got that consistency in coaching, you're going to get quality development and you're going to get quality play out there. And again, just back to that count, the more that you're around those guys, the more that you understand why players gravitate to them and trust them with their game.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's no different in football. One of the things that I think doesn't get talked enough about is why players choose to go play for certain coaches in certain schools. It's because they want to go be a pro. And if you want to be a pro, and some of these coaches have made their living on selling that part of it and showing that, hey, come play defensive back here.
Yeah.
Hey, you can get to the NFL. Play running back at this school. You get to the NFL, vice versa. So the development on any sport is huge. I want to slide over. I know the opponents, that's a big deal. I like the schedule. Got to go on the road, play Florida, got to go on the road and play Tennessee. We're used to that. I know it feels like we go down to Florida every year now, but Florida's kind of the benchmark now in this league. Us, Tennessee, and Alabama have been the flag bearer for the last 5 to 6 years, but Florida has risen quickly, and they went ahead and grabbed the flag. They won the whole thing. Yeah. So they kind of have set the bar, and they did a really good job in the all season of going out and filling some holes that they had that left their team, and they went out and got some really quality players. So they're going to be really, really good again. So no shock there. So it leads me to some of the odds. But before you get out of here, Randy, I want to just kind of run some of these down. These came out via DraftKings, the odds to win the national championship in basketball. Auburn and Alabama come in right there at plus 3,000. So roughly 16th, 17th, right around in there. Those two teams obviously have been competitive and made it to Final Fours, but that's only good enough for 16th or 17th. When you go up and you got Tennessee at 2,800, Kansas at 25, so forth and so on. You got Arkansas at 10 at plus 22, Kentucky at plus 1,800 in the top 10 at number 9. Then you go up to Florida at plus 1,600 at number 6. And then the top 3 are Duke plus 1,100, Houston plus 1,000, and also Purdue plus 1,000. So there it is. There's the breakdown, but there are the SEC teams basically in the top 15 that I named off. And man, just a meat grinder again. What else can you say?
Well, there's a couple of players each and every year that kind of get you over the hump in 5 or 6 of those games. We're hopeful that Tahad, Keyshawn Hall, and others that are in, you're really just speculating heavily at this point in time because you haven't seen the way that they play together and how all of these things mesh. But I will say this, if everything holds of what you hear from Auburn and Alabama there, if the bottom, Brett, is 16th and 17th,
right?
If that's considered a slide in college basketball, we need to all pinch ourselves and look at where we've come from, because we have really made a drastic change from 10 or 12 years ago to where we are now, where Auburn and Alabama both 16th and 17th after having seasons with Alabama going to the Final Four a couple of years ago and Auburn going to the Final Four this past year. It was it's a masterful time to be a college basketball fan here in the state of Alabama, and I see Faith stepping in, and I'll step aside. I'm walking in to pick Cecilia up at gymnastics, by the way. So
there you go. You gonna go show them some moves in there?
If there's one sport that I can show zero moves in, it is gymnastics. I would get a couple of laughs for certain.
I'd pay to watch that.
But I'll be tuning in to y'all.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Bye, Randy.
All right. Welcome in, Faith. And just seems like I saw you just a few minutes. I did.
Yes,
you did. A few minutes ago. It just
yes.
So had a great time yesterday. I was talking about starting the show at Prime Steakhouse and Stillwater's golf course, man. What a great time we had yesterday.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. We had so much fun. That was my first time actually at Prime at Stillwater's, being able to see the golf course. Actually, we drove through it before, but just actually being there and seeing the renovations that's going on there. It was awesome.
Exciting. Really going to be awesome. It's already awesome, but it's going to be great, even better when they get everything fixed and finished up. So appreciate the hospitality, appreciate Brian and the great food that they served us. Man, those oysters, holy moly. If you hadn't seen the picture Faith posted on Instagram, go look at it. Don't take our word for it. Awesome. And I think he said they went through 1,700 in 4 days last week.
4 days.
17, making a dent in the Gulf of Mexico at Prime for sure. So but some more of our good partners here as Faith comes on. And as always, we love to talk about Sure Shot.
Sure Shot, right up 280. It is they've got all your firearm apparel and hunting needs. It's always hunting season, so it doesn't matter what time of the year it is. It's always something that you got to find. And
Target practice.
Yeah, target practice, whatever it is. Learning how to operate and use a handgun. It doesn't matter what it is. So just call on them at 256-329-0080. Scott's got something for you that he will get you sold on something good.
Yeah, and I told everybody the other day, Faith, that if you don't have a really nice safe in your house, you don't have to be a hunter. You need a nice safe. There's some things that you need to put in a safe that are protected from a fire or anything like that, that if they get damaged or destroyed, you can't replace them. So everybody needs a really, really good safe, and Sure Shot's got a great line of safes that you can choose from. So I encourage people, if you don't have that in your house, you need to go do it now. So it's important. You just never know.
Oliver Ross, if you've got a party of 20 or you got a party of 20,000, it doesn't matter. Oliver Ross is going to be able to take care of all of the bartending services that you need. And they're certified and licensed bartenders. So while you're focused on, organizing the party, if you're an event planner and you have to run around doing all that, you know who to call. Oliver Ross. They're the professionals, and they're going to make sure that everything behind the bar stays going good and smooth sailing.
How many companies can do 20 up to 20,000 and be
right?
I don't
not tell you.
Oliver Ross can. That's why they are the best. So, Faith, just talking about basketball, I want to get your thoughts. You and I talked about this yesterday a little bit, the schedule release, but looking at odds, they got Auburn and Alabama at plus 3,000. This is from DraftKings. They got Purdue and Houston with top odds to win the national championship at plus 1,000. So really not that far off. And then you got in the middle, well, they're really, really high on Arkansas at plus 2,200. Anybody else there on that list stand out to you? I mean, when I look down through here, I mean, it's probably about right. I don't think Auburn's getting undersold very much, but I think there's some teams in front of them that maybe have a little bit higher expectations.
You know, just seeing that on this specific post that Auburn and Alabama are at both plus 3,000, but we're at least named first.
But we're ranked higher.
Just a little bit better.
And we're ranked higher, 16 and 17. But
I know. I'm just saying, but like, I mean, we're both.
We are.
Yeah, we're both plus 3,000, but it's just like, at least we're higher than them.
That's fine. Yeah,
that's the first thing that stood out to me is just that we're both ranked right next to each other, but we stood out more than they did.
Things like that stand out to us, no doubt about it. So, all right. So when you look at it from a standpoint of, you know, the team that Bruce Pearl has assembled, and you and I talked about this a little bit yesterday too, Auburn's got the talent. It's a matter of being able to get everybody in there and learn their role. I think the depth's really good. Completely different team outside of Tahad Pettiford, which to me sometimes, if you got a coach like we got in Bruce Pearl, you know he's going to assemble a really good team. It's almost kind of like opening a present at Christmas. You don't know what you're going to get sometimes till you open it, and you know it's going to be pretty good because he's not going to settle for anybody that's not capable of coming in here and competing. So I'm excited to see the new team on the floor. I mean, I'm not trying to rush. We ain't even got to football yet. We ain't even got to football, but it'll be exciting when basketball rolls around to see this team.
Yeah, it'll definitely be exciting. But again, it with how people are transferring in and out after just a year, sometimes you need that first year to acclimate to your surroundings and the different guys there and just learn your spot. And you don't really have that anymore because people are in and out. And no one's there for more than a year sometimes. It's going to be interesting after watching the first game, or even when we go to some of the practices right before, just seeing how everybody kind of works together, because outside, like you just said, outside of Tahad,
that's it.
Whole new team.
Only familiar face left. So that's that on basketball. I thought that was neat that DraftKings put that out yesterday. All right, let's shift back over to football for a minute. I'm kind of hopping all over the place. Phil Steele came out with his college football preview and his Power 40 poll, top 40 power poll. So through the power rankings and everything that he does, there were 12 SEC teams, I think, in the top 40. And we'll go from bottom up, and I'll let you read off the first 4 or 5, and Auburn happens to be in that first 4 or 5. I'll let you read them off bottom up.
Arkansas is at 33.
I mean, returning a quarterback that I thought played pretty good last year. And so, yeah, maybe some little higher expectations for the Hogs this year.
Every time I'm reading or seeing that, all I can think about is how long of a day that's going to be for us. And it's so far away, but I'm still already starting to.
We're already dreading it, the drive. It'll make it a lot better if we go win.
Both games, yeah.
All the way around, yes, absolutely.
We'll see. At 27, we got South Carolina.
Okay, I think Lenore. With all the hype around Lenore Settlers, thought it might have been a little bit higher than that. To be honest with you,
where did we really have them?
$8 million. I mean, do you really buy that? I'm not sure I'm buying that.
No.
$8 million.
Are you kidding?
No.
Let's be real here.
Right.
All right, at 24, we got Auburn.
Hey, that's pretty good. I mean, this is the top 40 teams in the country, and Auburn's at 24 in the power poll. And, that leads me to kind of speculate with Phil Steele. By the way, when we talked about Baylor a couple of days ago, he had them winning the Big 12. So think about that. Phil Steele actually had Baylor winning the Big 12, which I thought maybe is a stretch, but he's got Auburn at 24. And I think, hey, look, you're not real high, but you're not low out of the top 40. You're just kind of sitting there. I think it's just kind of Phil Steele saying, yeah, I'm kind of waiting and seeing too.
Yeah. 22, you got Ole Miss.
That's disappointing for them, I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you were to argue with any Ole Miss fan, you'd say, we're supposed to be up higher.
Well, they're not going to make the playoffs if they're at 22. So, and Ole Miss is built. I mean, I hate, as much as it pains me to say this, they're in a lot better shape based on what they've been able to do, but they laid a couple of eggs last year and it cost them. So maybe that is some lack of confidence in Lane Kiffin to win a couple of games he's supposed to win. Now, he won a couple of games he probably wasn't supposed to win, but it really reminded me of Coach Tuberville back in the day. And Coach Tuberville would win. His record against teams in the top 10 was maybe the best ever in Auburn history. But, man, then he'd come back at an 11:30 game against a team that was terrible and lose. And it's like, what happened? You know, but we just beat the number one team in the country at their place. We come home at 11:30 and lose to Arkansas to a running back that was 5'9", 160 pounds, and he runs for 300 yards. So it's like some things.
Someone's not still bitter, are they?
I'm a little bitter. I'm a little bitter because I'm sorry. That was hot that day, and I was pissed. And that little joker was running all over the field, and we couldn't tackle him. And I'm like, what the hell, man? What are we doing? And so he's still running, by the way. That guy's still running down the road somewhere. But anyway, I just think Ole Miss kind of falls into that category with Lane Kiffin that we should have been in the playoffs. And why were we not in over SMU and some of these other teams? Well, okay, go win the games and it'll take care of itself. Anyway, that was my little rant.
Thank you. You want to read the next one?
What about Tennessee? 20. What a drama fest that has been in the offseason. They just swapped quarterbacks. UCLA said, all right, I'll take yours. And Tennessee said, all right, we'll take yours.
They're going to have to be good this year after all the hype and everything all the drama that has happened. They're going to have to.
Then you jump up. You go from all those teams are from 33 to 20. And then you jump to 11 with LSU, the fake Southerner, making another appearance. A lot of expectations. I mean, Garrett Nussmeier, the number one pick in the draft. Am I missing something? Am I off? I mean, he's a good quarterback, but good Lord, dude, I never thought. I just don't see that. I would take Lenore Sellers or DJ Lagway over Garrett Nussmeier. That's me. Now, some people might be watching and going, you're an idiot. Okay, whatever. But I'm taking DJ Lagway if I've got a choice. If we're on the playground and Lenore Sellers and DJ Lagway and Garrett Nussmeier out there, I'm picking DJ Lagway. And then I'm picking Lenore Sellers second. So, but anyway, there's a lot of mock drafts that have Garrett Nussmeier the number one quarterback or the number one guy coming off the whole board in the NFL draft that's coming up here. We'll see, though. We'll see. And as we move forward, Faith, we'll start breaking team schedules down. I know we've broken Auburn's down every which way you can break it down. But I want to see, a lot of times predictions on teams where they finish has to do with their schedule layout. Is it more favorable? Or is it tougher this year? I'll need to look at that more in depth when it comes time. So LSU at 11. What about the Gators at 10? Somebody's high on the Gators.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's too high?
Yeah.
What have they proven? I know that DJ Lagway is this is a DJ Lagway prediction. This is Phil Steele saying what I just said. I think DJ Lagway is phenomenally talented and proved it last year toward the end. And everybody was like, why wasn't he starting to begin with? By the way, Billy Napier, why did you start the season so terrible and then put DJ Lagway in? Okay. So now he's going to be starting, but they've got when I tell you a team's got a brutal schedule, they have a brutal schedule.
Yeah, they've got a tough one, but I'm bitter with Florida still. So
Yeah, I am too on everything, like
yeah.
every sport. All right, rounding out, let's just go through the top five. Texas A&M 9, Oklahoma 8, Georgia 7. Oklahoma, man, God almighty. That's a John Mateer pick. That's a transfer
Mhm.
portal deal there too.
Yeah.
Georgia, I mean, Georgia's Georgia, Alabama's Alabama at 4, and then Texas at 3. And there's a lot of pressure on Arch Manning, I can just tell you.
I
Because
mean, he's got from every angle, he's got people trying to rip him down, people trying to, make him people want him to fail.
of course they do.
And
100%.
what
And
has the guy done other than sit and stay and wait his turn to
we'll say
play?
the only thing he's done is sit on the bench, and he's gotten in select times. But I think
What do people want him to do?
they wanted him to beat out. Man, why did I just go blank? I'm looking straight at him. Quarterback from this past year. Um,
Quinn?
yeah, Quinn Ewers. Yeah, I mean, I think they wanted him to beat Quinn Ewers out this year, but Quinn Ewers pretty good. I mean, so yeah, I
I
think
just don't understand why you're getting crucified if you stay, why you're getting crucified if you're leaving and transferring. No one can win. So good for him for staying and waiting to get developed. I'm proud of him for doing that, which probably doesn't mean anything. But I just don't understand why you're getting
he just
you
texted me
can't
and told me
no one can do anything right.
he told me how much he appreciated your confidence. So
I'm sure he did.
I know, but I mean, I do think that has been undersold a little bit. I mean, I think there was if Quinn Ewers had come back to Texas this year instead of going to the draft, he wouldn't have stayed. But he did.
Right.
All we've heard is Arch Manning since high school, and
Right.
with his uncles and all the pressure and all, and he's waited his time. But here it is. He's been handed the reins to this team. He's been on the team for 3 years. This going into his 3rd year, so it's time. So anyway, that's Phil Steele's Power 40, and that's the SEC teams that made the top 40, and our Auburn Tigers sitting there at number 24. So pretty good. I mean, now again, it's just go prove yourself. Go show everybody what you can do, and don't lay eggs. All right. In recruiting, there's some interesting things going on in recruiting. We talked about Landon Duckworth yesterday. The Elite 11. That's why we didn't go to Jackson this week. We're going to Jackson next week. So you'll get to ask him about the Elite 11 camp too, which is cool. And why he's narrowed it down to Auburn and South Carolina. I can't wait to hear that because it was South Carolina, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Ole Miss. And he's made another trip back to Auburn last week. He pretty much listed that again in his little bio in the Elite 11, and it's down to South Carolina and Auburn. And like we've already said, he was committed to South Carolina at one point in time, then decommitted. But really, the steam has picked up with him. He's not really an under the radar guy anymore. I mean, he has proven himself tremendously. Won a state title last year, but out there in California, man, he's kicking tail. Like right now, they got him ranked the number 2 quarterback out of the 11 out there.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it yesterday, and he's been doing really well, and I'm really looking forward to just hearing more about his thought process of
Right.
what happened, and then all of a sudden why Ole Miss just went right out of the running. So I'm interested to hear what he has to say. Yeah, I mean,
Buckle your seatbelt.
yeah, nothing else you can really say. Buckle your seatbelt.
That's it. Out of gas on that one. All right, a couple more of our partners, and I want to come back, and I think this is very interesting, especially since you and I have been talking about this for a couple of weeks, and I want to get everybody's take on it. Obviously, we're not live, but you can comment as we move forward through the rest of the program. Old Number One Customs.
Can't wait to see Brett's montage of his new bathroom and his master bath that's getting renovated from Old Number One Customs. If you've got a bathroom, kitchen, outdoor living space, anything, Old Number One Customs will go in there in 2 weeks and be able to transform. Don't DIY it in 2 weeks. Stick with the professionals at Old Number One Customs and get it done in 2 weeks. Wait, don't DIY it in 2 years. Get it done in 2 weeks.
There you go. You crafted that statement. That's your
Well, I just messed it up. So
You corrected it, so you made up for it.
thank you.
I screwed up the ending of the show yesterday. I don't know what I was trying to do.
Yeah, it's okay. It happens.
We were halfway through, and I guess you can still have the best day ever at noon or at 1 o'clock. Call Old Number One Customs 334-752-6162.
JFA Blue Plumbing. While you're at it, go ahead and get a water filter duo, a home matless water filter duo installed by JFA Blue Plumbing. They'll go in there, $15.99. Can't put a price on good health. And so whatever faucet you've got, any water coming out of it, it's going to be filtered water. And you've got to think about how much water your body holds and how much you should be drinking daily. And if it's not filtered water, you don't want to all the bad, nasty stuff. Calling them at 844-JFA Blue.
Absolutely. Appreciate all of them. All right. We've been following a lot of the top 10. Faith's been doing interviews with most all of them. Still have a couple left, and we'll be knocking out those next week. Looking forward to that. But in the meantime, our good friends at 24/7 came out with an article yesterday. Christian Clemente, really like Christian, such a nice guy, does a great job of covering football and really getting inside scoop on a lot of these guys. I'm definitely not going to read this article because you need to go subscribe and read it, because it's talking about the elite recruits and how they are approaching decisions and how schools are approaching the revenue sharing. And I thought this is interesting. I'll pull a little snippet out. Then I want you to elaborate, Faith. And it's because we're close to him and we've been covering him really, really since the end of last year. Cedarian Morgan, and the top player in the state. And he was able to share a little bit about his visit with Christian. And one of the particular questions that he asked him was about, what about the revenue share and what was Auburn able to do as far as numbers with you? And this is his quote. He said, they really can't tell me anything for real because of the new cap. They can't give me a specific number because they're trying to figure everything out. But I thought this quote is interesting, and it goes hand in hand with what we've been telling everybody. December, they're going to be able to tell me a lot because they're going to know a lot. But just like right now, they know very little about how much money is going to be spent, but they can't just say how much. So again, you talked about this the other day about schools embellishing and saying, oh, we're going to give you all this. And we know some specifics on some schools and coaches that we won't mention because we were told to keep it private. But I thought there again, you said Auburn's not telling these kids that, we're going to go give you all this money. But the thing that I pulled out is that he's going to wait till December. So we've been saying this in that quote right there, he's going to commit on July 2nd. And it could be Auburn, it could be Alabama. It could be Florida with the way that's trending right now, or Colorado, any of the ones in the top 5 for Cedarian. I really think all of them are in on this thing. We've all said it's going to come down to an Auburn-Alabama battle, and I still feel that way. But whoever garners his commitment in July is going to have to fight. And results are going to matter. Relationships are going to matter. And he just pretty much says it right there. He's going to hear what Auburn's got to say in December about the NIL revenue sharing. Plus, you're going to know where Auburn stands as a football program with the results on the field at that point in time.
That's the thing that everyone fully needs to understand, is that there are so many people that are just, we're going to give you this. This is what we're going to do, whatever. No one's doing anything. No one knows how everything is getting split up yet. No, there's not enough answers because not enough time has passed since all of this.
Right.
Finally, Cedarian's come out and said, I don't know, I'll know more in December. You know what else you'll know more in December? If Auburn's good, if they're really making way.
Bingo. A lot of things are going to get answered. And I applaud him for being honest, and I applaud Auburn for saying, man, I can't tell you how much I can give you right now.
Auburn has been so honest throughout this whole thing.
They have. They have.
And I think that's been great because if you're going to sit out there and BS everything, you're just lying to these
Well,
kids.
it's going to end up coming back to bite you. We've already seen it bite some schools. We saw it bite Florida with a kid last year. We saw it bite UNLV, who, by the way, don't even have enough money to pay their coach, which is crazy. So, I mean, and we know that there's certain coaches and certain programs just blatantly lying to these kids. That's why I said a couple of weeks ago, I think it's important to start moving toward contracts for both parties, the schools and the players. If somebody tells me they're going to give me something, well, all right, let's sign a deal. Let's make sure I get what you said you're going to give me, and vice versa. Hey, you going to stay 2 years? You going to stay 3 years? Let's sign a contract. So I don't have to go recruit you every 7 months.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. But, hey, that's just the tip of the iceberg of that article. Multiple other recruits in this article that Christian was able to talk to and get their reaction on the same topic. I thought Braylon Womack's answer was really good. Devin Carter, several other guys. Just go read it. If you hadn't subscribed to Auburn Undercover, you need to do that. Jason Caldwell, Christian Clemente, really good friends of ours. Really appreciate everything that they do and jumping on the program whenever they can. So, all right, it's going to wrap us up for this Thursday morning. Again, this was recorded last night, but we are glad that all of you have joined us this morning or whenever it is that you tune us in throughout the day. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, please go do that. If you like our content, please spread the word. Help us with that. Help us grow this channel. We're already pushing over 8,600 subscribers, and we've only been doing this for what now, 5 months, 5.5 months, really. So, so much appreciation to all of you out there that has helped us grow. So, but all right, we hope everybody out there has
The best day ever.
I'm not going to screw it up because we're in the morning time. We do hope everybody has the best day ever and always a big O.
Where you go.